The pace of technological progress is slowing down, and we need to adjust to this. The high rates of technological growth are nothing more than an illusion. The world is seriously and permanently slowing down. According to some prominent scientists, in 2106 we will reach technological singularity, and it won't be the culmination of progress. For many millennia, technological development followed a hyperbolic curve of constant acceleration, and if you continue this trend, it seems to stretch towards infinity. This is best described by a hyperbolic function that has a point heading towards infinity, that is, singularity. Taking this literally, it can be said that at this point, the constantly accelerating progress will slip out of human control and fall into the hands of artificial intelligence. But not everyone considers this approach correct. Acceleration is inevitably followed by deceleration. This mechanism is quite clearly described by the dynamics of Earth's population growth. Austrian scientist Heinz von Förster demonstrated in 1960 that since the beginning of our era, the Earth's population has grown hyperbolically. However, from the 1970s, the trajectory transformed, growth rates began to decline. This is still happening, and according to UN forecasts, it will continue in the coming decades. With technological progress, which has always been linked to population dynamics, something similar is observed. Therefore, technological singularity is not an indicator of the curve heading towards infinity, but a point after which the type of development changes, from hyperbolic acceleration observed for almost the entire existence of humanity to deceleration. If we consider current data, based on observed empirical points, we already live in a slowing world, and main singularity was passed in 2018. However, in the 2030s, a new wave of acceleration can be expected, and with its inclusion, the point of total singularity will be around 2106, perhaps plus or minus 20-30 years. The punctuality of such forecasts is relative, but in any case, in the 21st century, the pattern of technological development will be different. Predicting transformations, of course, is impossible, but historical regularities can be identified. There is the theory of production principles, that is, super long cycles during which innovations arise, significant technological changes occur. In the history of mankind, there are 4 of them: hunting, gathering, agrarian craft, trade industrial, and cybernetic. Due to the acceleration of technologies, each subsequent cycle was shorter than the previous one. The time of hunters-gatherers lasted 30,000 years, agrarians, craftsmen, 9.4 thousand, the period of trade industrial production, 525 years. The cybernetic era began in 1955 and will last 135 to 160 years. But at the same time, the development of cycles followed the same pattern. Within each, 6 similar phases are distinguished. Their combination and duration remain stable even with the change of production principles. These stable proportions have allowed scientists to calculate the dynamics of technological progress since the Upper Paleolithic Revolution, 40,000 years BC, and forecast its future stages. Since the mid-1990s, we have been in the second stage of the cybernetic revolution. In the 1950s, it began with a rapid growth of information technology, energy, automation, space exploration, transition to scientific methods of production management, and real economic globalization. In the third stage, from around the 2030s, the final phase will start, which could become the era of smart, self-regulating systems. Its driving force will be the synergy of medicine development, additive technologies, nanotechnologies, biotechnologies, robotics, IT sector, and cognitive technologies. From the fourth phase, from 2055, self-regulating systems will rapidly improve and spread around the world at a tremendous speed, achieve advanced forms, and take a central place in the new production process. The main driver of technology growth will be the change in the age structure of the population, global aging. The number of 80-year-olds on the planet from 1950 to 2050 will increase 100 times, which means an increase in the number of people spending money on health. However, the acceleration of the 2030s will not be more powerful than that of the 1950s, 60s. Then the breakthrough was everywhere. In transport, energy, chemical industry, molecular biology, Personal computers in the 1980s also appeared not out of nowhere. By the end of the last century, there was a trend towards negative dynamics of breakthrough inventions. There are fewer of them appearing, and this is one of the indicators of the state of technological progress. Patent statistics show high figures, but often what is patented is not fully fledged inventions. But the number of truly significant inventions has been decreasing since the 1950s, 60s. The idea of constant technological acceleration came from old ideas about the universe being infinite in time and space. Now we know that the universe is boundless but finite, has a clear starting point, and a limited amount of matter. The number of protons, neutrons, electrons is more or less calculated. Hopes that by studying their structure, new elementary particles can be discovered and progress further have not been fulfilled. It can be confidently said that in the 22nd century, significantly fewer discoveries will be made than in the 21st, and in the 23rd, fewer than in the 22nd. Inventions that change the world will not disappear, just like periods of acceleration over decades. The 2030s will certainly be more productive than the 2010s, but in the long term, the main thing is deceleration. We must prepare for life with declining economic growth and stop thinking that this is temporary. The decline in dynamics observed in developed countries since the 1970s is not the result of incorrect economic policies. This is a serious, deep trend. Technological breakthroughs in the 2030s will improve the dynamics of the global economy, but not to the peak records of the mid-20th century. Even the asteroid impact, which 60 million years ago led to the extinction of a huge number of species on Earth, or the plague in the 14th century that wiped out a third of Europe's population, in long-term curves looked like fluctuations around the trend line. Something rocked, fell down, but then quickly returned to its place. Deviation can be powerful, but it does not change the trend. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel, and remember, the best way to predict your future is to create it.